Cheers, everybody. We are back for another edition of Bourbon on a Budget. It's review time, and we are reviewing Baby Sazerac Rye. It's not officially named Baby Sazerac Rye, but that seems to be the name that Brendan gives it every time we refer to it. And so Brendan's awkwardness has taken over my life. So Baby Sazerac Rye. Ben, this is one of your absolute favorites. Give us some specs on this thing.
Yes. Thank you, TJ. This is one of the greatest budget ryes on the market. It is distilled by Buffalo Trace, comes in at 90 proof, and it is a straight rye whiskey with a mash bill of 51% corn, 51% rye, 39% corn, and 10% malted barley, aged for a minimum, wait for it, 2 years. So it's at least as that old. Could be 25 months, could be 8 years. No one knows. But if you can find it, it's like $30 and it's incredible. So today we're going to be reviewing it. Cheers.
Much cheaper if you can find it in Louisiana. If you make your way over to the Sazerac house, you can find it in some grocery stores and convenience stores around that area for I've seen it. I've seen pictures of it from $18 to $20. So
$18.
Just an absolute steal of a bottle. By the time it gets back over here to Florida, where we are, you usually see it in that $30 to $35 range. Brendan, there's a place off of I-10 that I won't mention because I don't know their name. There's a place off of I-10 that charges like $50 to $55 for this when I've been in there the last couple of times. And I've let it go.
$50.
No, what if you were like hard up and couldn't find it for 2 years? That's what we're gonna kind of uncover here. Is like, would you pay $55 or they're better price?
No,
I don't know. I think I have 3 bottles left. If I got through all 3 of those and then again could not find it for 2 years, then maybe. Yes. Okay. Like that would have to be the standard because like. It's a little bit lower proof. I don't know that I'm drinking it all the time, but let's get back to the review or start the review. But it would take a lot for me to spend like over double retail. We'll do an episode on this eventually, but you can find it under 50 on the secondary market. So I think I actually even take that back and say I wouldn't pay the 50.
All right, it's a lie. You lied to us and you ruined your credit.
No one knows.
No, understood.
Speaking of nose, have you guys been sniffing this thing or not? Where are we with the nose on this, Ben?
TJ, that was professional.
It was so good. So the nose on this is very citrusy. It is like shoving your entire nose up an orange. It's so good. Citrus bomb, little vanilla, little bit of rye spice, surprise, right? But heavy citrus. If you like a little bit of citrus in the morning, like some orange juice, have a sip of this. So good.
Definitely citrusy, and tons of orange, gobs of orange, but also like I get big vanilla on it, big cinnamon spice, which is probably the rye spice. Again, the low rye mash bill that Ben discussed. A little bit of like orchard fruit, like red apple, cherry as well. And surprise, I've had this open and breathing for about an hour now. There's like a little bit of like dustiness to it as well. It's not unpleasant, kind of like antique wood dustiness. And also like getting deeper into it. Like when I was like, before we started recording, like I was getting like really into it. I always get like brown sugars, maple syrup. So this is very sweet, fairly complex. Guys, it's the hell of a nose. I'm just going to say it's pretty damn good.
I've told you guys this already, but this is my Ben will understand what I'm saying. But this is my Jordan flu game. I'm really struggling with just being congested and allergies and different things going around. It's tough to get a lot from the nose, but I definitely get the citrus. I mean, the orange is still the strongest note. The vanilla is there. And then after that, I'm not getting much, not in a bad way. Again, I'm the one that's congested. It's not the rye's fault. It's mine. It's not you, it's me. But still, even with being congested and not being able to smell anything today, pretty good nose on this. Ben, taste.
Ooh. Yes.
Ooh.
Taste, great. Still citrusy, still vanilla, still rye. But get a little like dark fruits in here, like plums. A little bit of raisin. So good. So good. Complex. Dense. These are all amazing characteristics.
Great
Brendan.
mouth. I'm gonna skip. Great mouthfeel because I can taste a little bit, but much like a lot of the Buffalo Trace kind of standard stuff that is at 90 proof, like Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare. It doesn't drink like it's super low proof. Now it also doesn't drink like it's way proofed up. But I think that 90 proof is a good entry level for it. I think that it's very approachable, but doesn't drink like it's like a baby, like baby Saz, like Brendan calls it. Mouthfeel is great, good flavor to it, dense, complex. I mean, I might even give it extra credit on the complexity once we get to it. But Brendan, now that I cut you off, I want you to go. But I hate to agree with Ben so much, but his review is spot on.
You're right.
Two things I want to discuss. One, did you say it drinks like a baby?
No, I said it doesn't drink like a baby.
So if you ever drank a baby, you would understand that this does not drink like that baby.
The irony is that I think in the first episode we did, TJ was talking about drinking, talked about me being awkward, drinking out of a baby bottle nipple, and I think it was the baby's ass that he was doing that with. So full circle.
Please,
Weird.
yeah. Please, baby Saz is what he said.
Saz.
Yeah.
Also doing a little bit of research. This is between 4 and 6 years old. Benefi just did a little quick Googling.
He said at least 2. He said
at least 2. No, I was
Legally.
adding more to it. Yeah, to be a straight rye, it has to be at least 2 years, and they're saying it's about 4 to 6 years. Just people know that's pretty good age for a rye.
We'll see. Never knows.
I agree. Actually, I didn't taste the dark like plum and raisin until Ben mentioned it, and now maybe power suggestion, but definitely getting it. The only thing I would add, because I get the cherry, the vanilla, the cinnamon. The only other thing that I would add to that is like this aromatic pipe tobacco. And I'm getting that like kind of that dark, harsh flavors, but like kind of the sweetness too, like when it's like a cherry or vanilla flavored tobacco. So a little bit of like a nice mixture there. Kind of continues to be complex. So very nice taste.
Finish. Brendan, stay there.
Flat. I don't like the finish. Kind of just it becomes very bland to me. Am I off on that, Ben?
I don't know. It's flat like that answer. I'll tell you that much.
It's not. There's nothing going on. It's just man. It's a little like citrus. It's a little citrusy.
Yeah. Give me another whiskey that's citrusy on the finish like this. Oh, it's like a good morning. This is like if you don't like Bloody Marys and you want to find a breakfast drink, this is it. This is it. Finish citrus, light, crisp.
It is crisp.
Oh. So yes,
it goes quickly. Like it's only like 3 seconds and it's gone.
It's only 90 proof. It's entry level. It's not there to warm you up in the winter.
I feel like we're being apologetic here, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think the finish kind of falls off. I don't think it's bad by any means, but I lean more towards Brendan here, and I love this whiskey. So yeah, I'm not too massive on the finish.
Right.
All right, let's rate it. Let's start with you guys for the nose. I may pull a audible here on when I do my nose rating, but out of 2, nose 2, taste 4, finish 1, cohesive and complex 1 point together, and then that's 8. You rate the value past that. Ben, we always start with you, so Brendan, hit us with the nose.
I love this nose. This might be one of the best, if not arguably it's the best nose we've done in the review portion to me. Maybe up there with the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel. It's awesome. It is complex, friendly, unique. I'm going to give it 1.75 out of 2. It's pretty damn close to elite.
Ben.
Completely agree. 1.75. Nose is incredible.
I am defaulting to you guys, and I was just going to take the average of your 2 scores since I can't really give a nose rating accurately, and so we'll go 1.75 across the board. I remember, kind of recalling from memory, really enjoying this, really enjoying the nose. I'm not going to dock it because I can't smell things, so I will default to you guys' nose. I will be back in for the rest of the review, though. I'm not going to copy you guys the whole night. Ben, you do get to go first on taste. Out of 4 points.
Ooh. I'm between 2.75 and 2.5 here. I really enjoy this. So I'm probably going to go with 2.75 because
Brendan.
I had a 2.5, and then about 30 seconds ago, I changed it to a 2.75. So I was facing a similar dilemma as Ben. I landed at 2.75. It's really solid. Very good overall. Very friendly with a little bit of complexity in there, too. It's nice. What about you, TJ?
So I'm trying to look back for a little bit of reference. We have The only thing we've ever given above a 3, and Brendan was a little below this, but Ben and I gave Double Rye a 3.25 on taste.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's the highest thing we've ever rated on taste. Brendan's highest rating on taste was Wild Turkey 101, Old Forester 100.
And your mom.
And that's not appropriate.
Cancel him right now.
So I think I'm between a 2.75 and a 3 as well. I don't know that I can bump it all the way to a 3, but it's, you know what? No, I can. I'm going 3. 3 on this one.
I like
this. This has one of the best flavors. I'm going to dock it here on finish in a minute, but this has one of the best tastes, flavors, mouthfeel, just complexity, all of it. This taste is really, really good. So 3 for that. Finish, it gets a half a point for me. It kind of falls flat. I do like the citrus on it. Ben sold me over. It was going to be a 0.25, but I'll give it a half point on finish. Brendan, we'll snake back to Ben.
0.25 flat finish.
FLAT. Ben.
Yeah, I don't disagree too much. 0.25, that's fine.
I thought I was docking it with the half a point. Cohesion.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay, yeah. Whatever.
What?
0.25.
Do you want a half a point?
Let's go half point. Let's go half
Yeah,
point.
I haven't taken my finger off the chess piece. So
I think it's kind of penalized because, like, to me, like the nose is so exquisite and the taste is like from finish to like mid palate is really good, and then it's disappointing. Maybe I think it cranks up the expectations for a disappointing finish. I think it's part of it, guys.
We've said that a lot, though. The nose on a lot of these things are just simply amazing, and then the taste just doesn't live up, and then usually the finish doesn't live up to that either. We talked about I liked it a lot, but you guys really loved the toasted barrel nose, and then you know the flavor and the finish kind of dropped off for you. So I think that is something that's really common. Maybe you guys just like to smell whiskey as opposed to sip on it. So
I do. I am a big
Less
nose.
calories.
Mhm.
Less calories.
Much less calories because whiskey is so calorie heavy. Cohesion. Why do we always say cohesiveness? That's cohesion and complexity.
Because I have it written down as cohesiveness. Is that not the right word?
I think we're gonna go cohesion from now on. Cohesion.
Isn't it like staying together? Like glue,
I think
cohesion.
Yeah, I think cohesiveness is correct. I mean, I'm gonna go with whatever TJ wants because he's running point on this, but he's also completely wrong too. So
I'm an English major, so I know.
That's not
I write for a living. I write good.
The action or fact of forming a united whole. So it's
glue.
just
glue.
It's how well it mixes together. It's the same. It's the same word.
Shut your united whole. Shut your united whole right now. It's cohesiveness.
Cohesive is characterized by or causing cohesion. It's like the word is in the definition.
Oh my god. Oh,
anyway, what are you guys rating this for that? For the C word and complexity. Listen to C word.
Do you go first, Brandon?
Yeah, go C word.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm the first one to talk after that thing. Ben's the C word. His last name's Cock. What are we doing?
Whoa! That's inappropriate.
We're canceled.
It's his last name.
We're canceled.
Cock. Oh my god.
It's been nice seeing you guys.
Yeah,
Mr.
Cheers.
Cock. All right. So definitely for cohesiveness, is getting the 0.5 for that. And you know what? For complexity, the nose and the taste are complex enough, even with the fall out with a short finish there. I'm going to give it a 0.5 for that too. So full 1 point for those two for me. What about you, Ben?
Ooh, I was going to go 0.75. So
where did you think it lacked?
Like there's a big variation between how great the nose is and how limited the finish is. So not as cohesion as I would like.
All right, guys, follow us on social media. I'm going with a full point here. That was a great man. I have nothing to say. I'm going with the full point here. I kind of rate cohesion more on the characteristics and the flavors and stuff, how they are throughout it, not necessarily like, oh, good nose, mediocre taste, bad finish. So I think as a drink, it stays pretty cohesive, and it is complex enough for me to give it the full point. So after rating it before value, Ben is at a 5.75 out of 8. Brendan with a 5.75 out of 8, and myself with a 6.25 out of 8. One of the highest rated things we've done. I had Toasted Barrel a little bit higher on the pre-value score. I think this is going to do decent on value too.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about value, we said that if you're in certain parts of the country, you can get this 18 to 20 bucks. Everywhere else, you're talking probably 30 to 35.
If you can find it.
If you can find it. I'll also say we haven't really delved.
Cohesive.
Cohesion.
On the secondary market, this goes for about 40. So it's not like it's insane either. So it's not, even with that, it's still not incredibly expensive. Finding it in a store can be very tough depending on where you are, but finding it in general to me is not that tough. We're talking 90 proof, between 18 and 25, 30 bucks. And then I guess I'm going to kind of consider the secondary price as well of around 40 bucks. Brendan, start us out.
So I'm looking back at the spreadsheet here. I went with Old Forester 100. I went with, it was 5.75 before we got into the value calculation. So the same exact score. I went with the 2 for value for Old Forester 100. It's like $10 cheaper, typically maybe $8 and more readily available. So I can't give this a full 2, but man, this is really, really good value. I feel like, especially like if someone's trying to get into rye, because it is a low rye mash bill, it's pretty accessible, like flavor wise, profile wise, like it's not too rye spicy. I'm going to go 1.75 on the value out of 2. Ben?
Let's go. Ben, are you still alive?
Yes, I am alive. I think Brendan's pretty much on point here. I think you have to dock it a little bit for availability. I don't think I've ever walked into a store and it's just sitting there on the counter. That's in Florida, but even when I was in North Carolina this past couple months ago, non-existent. And so you have to give it a little bit of dock there. So 175 seems appropriate.
I had a 1.5 and I bumped up to a 1.75 as well. So, man, I don't know. I really thought that the right way to do that would be a 1.5 because of availability. But again, if you
when we get Buffalo Trace, because that's a similar availability. Similar price point.
To be fair, too, this Buffalo Trace was done, just for context before TJ says it, that was done before we were doing the 0.25. Yeah, so we may have to go back and do that.
You two gave that a 1.5. I gave it a 2. But I think that if we had those, I lean still on the heavy side.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace is more accessible than this is, though.
I would agree.
Buffalo Trace more often.
Definitely.
So I don't feel bad about my 2. We'll get to, or we talked about it on the main show. But we were in a store Saturday for a liquor release, and there was a Buffalo Trace there that had been sitting there for a minute. It was $30.
Yeah, it's $30. So.
And nobody. Some parts of the country, I went to New England 2 years ago. COVID didn't do a whole lot last year, and they had Baby's Ass and Buffalo Trace all over the place, in 3 or 4 different stores. So it depends where you're at.
Some places in Georgia have it pretty readily available as well. But bringing our total scores for the week. This is going to make the big board. I don't know exactly where it's going to be.
Make it, baby. Let's make it.
It's not going to make the big board. I got news for you. No, it's not going to just make it.
Ben at a 7.5 out of 10. Ben 7.5 out of 10. TJ at 8 out of 10.
Oh!
Composite score 7 2/3. 7.6666666666.
Wow.
That's
going to be a tough score to beat.
It's the
leader.
That
is a solid.
Beats out.
Solid bottle.
And I'm glad it does. To me, if I'm drinking Old Forester 100 and this back-to-back, I'm taking this every time. Even though it's a little bit lower proof, a little bit harder to find, I like the complexity that you get. Old Forester 100 gives you a good, big, as Brandon likes to call it, Kentucky hug, and there's a lot of depth to it. But, man, the complexity on this is my favorite everyday drinker that I have. My favorite everyday drinker that I have multiple bottles of and can drink anytime. It's this. I like this better than Buffalo Trace, so I'm glad that it beat it out.
Yeah.
I probably like it better than Eagle Rare. I know that.
Yes,
Ben likes it more. Yeah, Ben gave Eagle Rare a 4. So
this is great.
My favorite part of everything we've ever done here today. Add this to your collection if you find it. I think we'll all agree there. Any closing thoughts, guys?
I have a closing thought. I have two thoughts. I'm going to kind of combine them into one. So a few weeks ago, we did the double rye, and I liked it, but that was also, to me, an extremely intense rye for someone who was getting into it. And since then, I've tried to dip my toes more into it. I'd be curious, like, if we went back and did the double rye, if I would score that a little bit higher just from getting used to it. With that in mind, the Sazerac here, it is to me, I think a perfect rye for a beginner, someone who's transitioning from bourbon, trying to get into some of the spicier side of life, as TJ likes to say, for ryes, because it's a lower rye mash bill, and it has a lot of bourbon notes to it. So if we kind of flip those around, I just wonder how I would have scored the double rye. That might be leading at this point, to be honest. But like, so who would you recommend this to who would you buy this for? Who would you say should go out and get the baby
Absolutely everybody. But for beginners, it is massive because it does exactly what you just said. It's a high corn rye, right? Mm-hmm. Only 51%. It barely qualifies to be a rye. And so a lot of those flavor characteristics of bourbon are there. It's easy to drink, super complex. I mean, it's put out by everyone's favorite distillery, right? Everybody's favorite, like, go-to and allocated stuff and blah, 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 blah. So it's this is for everybody. Beginners, and I mean, not that I'm the most experienced, whiskey drinker of all time, but I mean, I've had a lot of things since trying this the first time, and I still love this. So my answer is everybody. Ben?
Yeah, I would agree. It's the jack of all trades right here. You can mix it in drinks and make an old fashioned out of it, and the citrus and the whiskey will play really well with the citrus and the old fashioned. It's a great sipper. It's good to kind of just delve into a little bit, especially like TJ was saying on the rye side. And it's not going to blow anyone's palate out because it's at 90 proof. Buy it. If you can find it, buy it. Yeah. I'd even buy it at 40.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a secondary, it's fine at 40. You can even kind of get them down to 35 at times. Not that I know that, but just kind of FYI. All right, cool. All right, well, that wraps it up. Follow us on social media, Bourbon on a Budget, everywhere. If you could share, tag a friend in this, subscribe, like, all those things that we ask you to do every week. Don't just do one, do all of them. So Ben cracking something else right now. So cheers to Ben for drinking more as we go to bed. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Cheers.